Hello, Idiots on Parade, the Too Ugly for TV podcast. We mock the news so you don't have to. I am Nathan Timmel, stand-up comedian in Iowa City. With me, as always, is Jake Vevra, stand-up comedian in New York City. Hello, Jake.
How's it going?
All is well here. I have what the kids call a post-viral cough. I will try and mute myself or go off camera, but just randomly, it just pops out of nowhere and I have a coughing fit. I may die on the podcast. We'll see if that happens.
He's also got a slight herpes outbreak. I can see it on his lip a bit.
Yeah, that's right. I actually got a bruised lip. I don't know what it is.
I was just kidding. But now it sounds like you're being defensive and covering for it.
If you want to be on the live cast, we've got 7 people that just tuned in. We're over on this one. We're setting up. My wife and I are going to get in a fight in a little while because we're setting up Christmas decorations outside because it's warm and that's legit. But my daughter wants to put up the Christmas tree, and that happens after Thanksgiving.
Which is 4 days away.
Exactly.
That's so they're getting it ready. That makes sense. That makes sense. They're not setting it up.
Fights are going to happen. All right. So we are going to talk. We got some information. Astute listener Raymond sent links on something we discussed last week involving trans and kids and surgeries. We're going to discuss that on the live after the podcast. So if you're just listening to this, you can go over to YouTube and catch the live. We're just going to jump into the regular news stories to start, and then we will discuss the
hey, before we get started, I'm going to plug. I know we do this at the end normally, but my special's out on YouTube. Go check it out, people.
I was going to plug that too. I watched
Dog
it.
Pills.
I have told 3 people. I'm not going to give away the punchlines. I have told 3 people the story of you and your wife meeting and the subway. That's all I'm going to say, because I just think that's the ending of that, where it's like, oh. I'm not going to say the punchline, but yeah, when you're going to lean in for a kiss, I've told 3 people that story.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. But if you guys want to go, I released it on my YouTube page that I basically didn't use before this, so I could use the likes, I could use the follows, the comments, all that good stuff. Share it with a friend, and I'll suck all your dicks. Hey, man, remind me I said this later when you see me at the show. I'll suck all your dicks. Or if you don't have it, one of those, just whatever you got down there. You tell me what you want.
You know what I like about that is that's the opposite of a Patreon. Like Patreon is all like, hey, everybody, give me money and I'll give you special content. You're like, watch my free video and I will give you bonus blowjobs. It's like, that's how good this is.
That's right. That's right. It was like Andy Warhol said, we will one day all have 15 minutes of fame and you're going to blow me for it. That was his thing.
AC is pointing out that today I am on the left and Jake, you are on the right. So if anybody calls us, I asked a quiz, Jake, after last week's comment that the guy on the left was a lesbian and the other guy's a trans. So,
I could have answered that easily. What was the response for most people?
Most people said 70% gave me lesbian and you trans, and then so 70% said I'm the lesbian.
I was gonna say for the hairline alone, dude. Like a hairline alone. Like if we were both born women, you know what I mean? Like you still have the hairline. It shaving it in there. That's not like a normal shaving in male pattern baldness. That's not a lesbian thing. That's a trans thing, bro.
Okay, yeah. And I got a short. I could see a butch lesbian cut here, and especially last week where I was sitting back. It looks.
West TX Tornado. Who is Jake? Where can we follow him? Jake Vevra, Vevera on all socials, and
at the symbol at Jake Vevra.
Yeah, and the special is called Unalived by Dog Pills on YouTube. Check it out.
Although. I don't want to get into this. I shouldn't, but I have to. Unalived by Dog Pills is a great story. It's a funny story. It's a good title. After watching it, there's a line in there, Undercover Ginger, I thought would have been so funny because it's a good bit. And it's like Undercover Ginger. Like, what the fuck does that mean? That's going to Unalived by Dog Pills is funny, but it brings people in like Undercover Ginger. I'm just saying that without giving any context, so people watch it.
The dog pill thing is more personal, and I tag it more throughout the special. So and it's more memorable, I feel.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just giving you poop. All right.
No, I hear you.
Let's jump in. There's the cough I was telling you about. I try and talk. It was really
fun.
What
though? You've inspired me. I'm making a clip of Undercover Ginger though.
Oh, nice. I had shows this past weekend in Illinois. There's an S on the end, Illinois, outside of Chicago. And yeah, that was fun. I'd be right in the middle of a joke. Hey, everybody, set up, punchline, punchline. And I'd start coughing.
That's no good.
So, good
coughing during the punchlines. That is like that is cold from Satan. That's rough, dude. It's one thing making you punch during the setups. You can repeat the setups, and we're still golden. Not ideal, but we're fine.
punchline. All right, that's what did I want to start with? Oh, here we go.
Thank you, STX Tornado.
All right, so first story. Wow, asshole's gonna asshole.
Wait, before we get to the first story. Sorry, I keep going to the chat. Sophie and Ken in the chat on YouTube Live says the question isn't who is Jake. The question is what is Jake. That's right. I'm a goddamn animal.
It's a what? All right. Asshole's gonna asshole, so this should have been expected, but company affiliated with Alex Jones seeks to disqualify the Onion's auction bid on InfoWars. Not just that, but asshole himself, Alex Jones, is suing the Sandy Hook families and the Onion for, quote, Frankenstein bid to buy InfoWars. I mean, my fucking God, when you're suing the parents of the Sandy Hook kids who bought your website that was used to spread hate, misinformation, conspiracy theories, and bullshits. When I see things like this, it makes me wish I was a Christian, because there is no hell hot enough for someone like Alex Jones. But I think it's funny and sad. Like, I hope this gets laughed out of court. But the idea is, so the company affiliated with Alex Jones, it's his what's it, the supplement company, where he was always like, because you've made fun of this, rightfully so. He gets on the air and goes, the world is coming to an end, the lizard people are coming, but first let me tell you about these pills that give you bigger erections. Let's talk about these erection pills for 5 minutes. And so that company doesn't want to lose its gravy train of stupid people.
I'll tell you, it's just as bad as lizards taking over the planet through the Pentagon. Heartburn. Do you guys need to get rid of indigestion and heartburn? Then buy my pills.
Exactly. So hopefully it all works out. It's just he's trying to throw a wrench in. It's a last minute, Hail Mary to continue to be an asshole on the air. And as you have I have said, it's not censorship. It's not. He is now just reduced to a basement podcast like us. He's become. He was a very successful millionaire loser. Now he's a basement loser, just like us. You and I are losers. Alex Jones, welcome to the basement podcast world. But he's trying
Alex Jones now,
build
like
your empire again.
Me and you, has to produce his own comedy specials and offer to blow random people on YouTube live chats to get them to like and subscribe. That is his punishment. He is reduced to us, which I would argue is less than nothing. That's what I say.
Yeah. From what I understand.
No, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea him taking them to court. It went really well at him for him in court last time, so I'm sure he's going to keep the streak alive. You know what I mean?
Oh, hopefully, because when he loses, hopefully, fingers crossed, then he has to cover the lawyers for the other side. So
he's not gonna win. And I said this about it last time, where he is going to make some arguments in court through his lawyers or whatever, to where it's like, yeah, okay, by the law, by the Constitution, that kind of makes sense. However, he is so much more unlikable than most defendants, most plaintiffs, whatever, in most of like legal history, that it's just not going to matter for him. You know what I mean? And on the other side of it is literal families of school shooting victims. So it's like they're the most likable / sympathetic. He's the least likable, So it's like, even if he's got some decent arguments to where it's like, okay, by the letter of the law, this works. I mean, it's just not gonna matter.
Well, and what happened was, according to the articles, I've read 2 of them. The Onion talked to Sandy Hook parents. They won the $1.5 billion lawsuit against him. And so what the Onion did is they approached them and said, hey, to keep the bid on this low, instead of, going for jacking up the price constantly, tell you what, let's go in together. They laid out a game plan and said, we want to buy it. This is what we're going to do with it. And the families themselves said they agreed to forego 100% of the shares in the sale proceeds and give it to other creditors who are cashing in, so that the Onion could have it. He calls it a Frankenstein. They literally made a decision. They said, oh, instead of trying to take all the money, we want it to go to the Onion. So yes, we will try and let it. There's nothing illegal about it. They made a decision, but his supplement company that wants to sell, snake oil to stupid people, they don't like the end of their gravy train. So they're trying to just throw whatever they can at it. And of course, the stupidest of the stupid are going to be on their side going, yeah, Alex Jones. It's a sad thing.
It's too bad, this whole thing, man.
Life.
I was really hoping that he'd just kind of fly under the radar and kind of come back a little bit because I always liked him as a character. You know what I mean? I was hoping that like someday he would end up on like Dancing with the Stars or like Masked Singer, Tinder. You know what I mean? Like he'd come out dressed like a turtle and just, you'll never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. And it's like, dude, that's Alex. He's back. He's dressed as a turtle on Masked Singer. This is great.
That would be good. I would love to see him hoofing it out on Dancing with the Stars, like a little because he's this fat troll, and Julianne Hough, she's still on the show. I've never watched it, but I know she's hot. So I would love to see this big fat troll with Julianne Hough because she's hot. There's this odd the Beauty and the Beast thing going on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think who's the lady? Jennifer Coolidge. I think Jennifer Coolidge. She should dance. He should dance with her. That would be a good one.
Yeah,
he was great on season 2 of White Lotus. I think she would pair well with Alex Jones.
I honestly basically remember her from a couple Chris Guest mockumentaries, and then of course, not Pretty in Pink, Legally Blonde.
Yeah. She was good in White Lotus, man. If you haven't seen White Lotus, check that out.
HBO, right?
Yeah. It's great.
That.
Both seasons, amazing.
All right. Moving on. I hate to talk about the election some more, but it's funny. I check up on it every so often just because we had the blowout. First of all, let's state it right up front. Kamala lost. Anybody that tries to call for recounts or whatever, just let it the fuck
I do
go.
love hearing that though from people on the left, where it's like, hey man, I normally agree with you guys with a lot of shit. She got smoked in all 7 swing states. Like, you think they rigged it this time, but didn't rig it last time? And I love just the naked hypocrisy of sitting there going, man, you believe the Republicans? They pushed the big lie for 4 years and treasonously claimed that Trump rigged an election, and then the bastards rigged an election. It's like, wait a minute, you don't see who you sound like right now? Come on now.
That said, the only reason I bring it up is because of the blowout Tuesday night when they called it. They said, "Oh, it's a blowout." He did win all 7 states. But you look at the margins in some of them, they are shrinking. Wisconsin, 1,697,000 to 1,667,000. Overall, the total popular vote, it started at like 64, it's 74-76. He beat her overall. Now we're in the range of 2 million, which means we are still just a fucking 50-50 divided country. Mm-hmm. And so I know a lot of people were screaming mandate. But a mini mandate, you do not have half the country. And at least Kamala said, I'm going to appoint some Republicans and govern everyone. And now we got him. That's the only reason I bring it up. Although
here's a plan. This whole electoral college thing where states with 7 people in them get as many votes as states with tens of millions.
Well, that's the Senate. That's not how the Electoral College works. Because North Dakota has 3 electoral votes and California has 54. The population does work there.
Right. The population works, but it's still skewed. It's still skewed toward states with less people in them. I say we get away with that and we do what most democracies do. What? A popular vote. Whoever gets the most votes wins.
And Trump still would have won. He still would have won.
Mm-hmm. But that is the fair way to do it. That is the right way to do it. If the electoral college didn't exist and you tried to invent it today, you would sound like a fucking quack. You would sound like you should be working on InfoWars. You would sound like an Onion sketch. You would sound out of your goddamn mind if you were like, hey, I know this whole one person, one vote thing seems to be going okay. What if we installed this whole electoral college thing? It should be popular vote, man. This is crazy. We're the only fucking democracy that does this shit.
Only one. But when it comes to her losing, again, I don't want to say she deserved to lose, but there's a new story. We talked about this last week, but it's been updated. Last week, we talked about how she paid $1 million for an Oprah Winfrey town hall. Oops. Turns out that was 2.5 million. Trump was going on podcasts for free. He was just flying around like, oh, Joe Rogan has 11 million listeners. Oh fuck! I'm drawing a blank on the guy with the mullet. Who's the comic with the mullet?
Yeah, Theo Von.
Theo Vaughn.
Theo Vaughn. He went
Theo
on
Vaughn.
Andrew
He went
Schultz's
on with
podcast.
Andrew
Yeah, he went on a ton of
Schultz. He went
Yeah.
on all these podcasts
Went on a ton.
where she was saying, no.
She did some of that. To be fair, she did do some of that. She went on Call Her
But
Daddy.
she did it like
some stuff.
she did it with her base, with the Call Me Daddy.
Right.
And that's good.
Right.
That's good. But she needed to expand. But the sheer fact that she was spending $2.5 million to do a town hall full of people that were going to vote for her anyway. It's the Hillary Clinton thing where it's like, we're just sticking with our base. We're not trying to expand it. Like, what a waste of money.
I don't even think it was so necessarily like she's sticking with her base as much as it was she's sticking with sort of just traditional forms of media more than she should have. Like, well, we're going to go with the tried and true. We're going to get Oprah, and we're going to get on the big networks. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Which I think was a mistake. I don't think that's why you
got a
lose
couple of good
7
things in the
swing states.
chat. Richard Kasparian wants to know if we're Jewish. If we were, we'd be more successful as comedians, because if we were Jewish, we would just be more successful. We'd have the Jewish in, because Hollywood, the banks, and the media, right? That's the
How dare you do that as an anti-Semitic thing to say? Yes, I'm Jewish. What's up? What's up, dude?
This is a great comment here. Glenn Paul, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Montana. They have all the nuclear weapons. They should have more electoral votes. Actually, that's right. I don't know why they don't hold the rest of the country hostage. South Dakota should say, North Dakota, we have the nukes. We want 54 just like California. Or we're launching.
They just start pointing the missiles around, going popular vote, electoral college. How about we just go with the big quattro here and fuck the rest of you guys?
Hey, Joe, baby. At least we're honest. We try. Richard says that. All right. This story is a big nothing, but this is one of those ones where I sent it to you because it just makes me hate humanity on every level. This story makes me hate humanity. Duct taped banana sells for $6.2 million at art auction. A conceptual.
Well, it's 8.2 with this economy, with these banana prices, huh? Thanks a lot, Biden. Jesus Christ.
A conceptual art consisting of a banana duct taped to a wall has sold for $6.2 million. Okay, first of all, this makes me angry and hate humanity because it's not fucking art. Fuck you. It's a banana duct taped to a wall. The sheer fact that this modern art, whatever, conceptual, suck all the dicks, suck every single dick. But then the fact that someone out there has $6.2 million to shit away, and he doesn't give it to donors choose for teachers or wounded warriors for vets or anything good, doesn't take $6.2 million and wipe out all the school lunch debt for underprivileged kids in probably an entire state like Iowa or Georgia. Maybe not Georgia. They have Atlanta. That's got big population, like Wyoming. Fuck you. It's so much anger when I see shit like this. It's just absurd what assholes do with their money, and that this is called art. It's a goddamn. We're doing something wrong, Jake. We're in our basements, making fun of everything, and millionaires are spending money on this, and artists are cashing in. What are we doing?
No, hang on. AC Blazer in the chat just said what I was going to say. It's not that these guys really think it's worth that much money. It's that it's a tax scam. It's that they can buy the art, kind of sell it to each other, and that gets less taxed than if I'm going to write you a check. It's, we're just trading expensive pictures by Salvador Picasso, whatever their fucking names are.
Is it less of a tax scam, though, if, as Joe Baby says, St. Jude, where you go and kids get treatment and there's no bill? Give it to St. Jude, one of the best charities out there.
I agree with you. I agree with you with what you're saying. But here's the thing. If you have the mindset to where you're like, you know what, I give a fuck about kids and school lunches, you're not the type of dude who does all the crazy white collar, like right-wing business scams that you need to do to accumulate the type of money to where you can throw $6 million at a dude for a banana and duct tape. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to be that type of sociopath to get that rich in the first place.
That's a good point. AC makes a good point. Think about how you're going to feel when the banana gets eaten. The buyer did announce, I don't know if it's in the article I have, but I saw it somewhere else, that he is going to eat the banana. The buyer has announced he is eating the banana. So
dude, I really hope that the buyer is just some YouTube celebrity. You know what I mean? And he's just like, all right, guys, here's what we're doing today. I'm going to eat the world's most expensive breakfast. Yeah. You know, and he's like cutting it up and he's putting it in Wheaties and stuff like that.
Two things. One, I would appreciate this if it was Banksy, because at least when he does art, he does troll. He's like, yes, I'm putting a banana duct taped to a wall and selling it. So he knows he's trolling. And two, if Mr. Beast bought it and then ate it, that I would almost appreciate it, because it would be so fucking, I almost said the R word to get canceled. It would be so stupid that it would be worth it, because at least he would be doing it on a level of the fact that, yes, I paid.
Now, Mr. Beast is a good man. You know what he would do? He would buy the $6.2 million banana, and then he would take it to what? A homeless shelter, and he would feed it to the homeless. He's a good man. He would feed the $6.2 million to underprivileged children.
He would cut that banana up into several slices and give each child a modicum of potassium.
Yes. Oh, but you know, speaking of feeding the needy, Joe Baby 1975 says, "Here I am trying to figure out how to sell feet pics for rent." I mean, you know, the best way to do that is DM me after the show. All right, I'm into some weird shit, and I'll spend money that I should be spending on my family elsewhere. Absolutely. Will you walk on cake?
We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Joe Baby, I don't know if you saw it or not, but you got fierce competition. Lily Allen, pop star Lily Allen, was getting a pedicure, and her pedicurist said, you have feet, people would pay for that. So she has an OnlyFans where she said she makes more money. Multi-platinum selling artist Lily Allen said she makes more money on OnlyFans with pictures of her feet than she does from Spotify royalties for her streams. Did I look it up? I'm going to look up. I want to see what her highest streaming track is.
You know, it
got some toe tapping, finger popping tunes.
She does. And Lars from Metallica tried to warn us 25 years ago about a dystopian future where once all the music went to streaming, artists were going to get paid so little from it, from each listen. It was all the money was going to get kept by the software companies, and musicians were going to be so broke that they were selling their feet pics to perverts while having like platinum records or whatever. And we all said, fuck you, Lars from Metallica. Stop being a dick.
Well, not just that, but that is in part, they've said for a handful of years now that musicians make their money through touring. They used to make it off album sales and royalties. Now they make it through touring. And that's why I was going to take my kid to see Green Day. The ticket prices were reasonable, I will say, but the Ticketmaster upcharge was just doubling the ticket price. And you get like, look, I like Taylor Swift. I was listening to Red on the way home from my gig last night and 1989. That said, I took my daughter to the Taylor Swift movie, but to look up tickets, you know, the resale, because they're all sold out, thousands of dollars. But they start, her tickets were, the ticket prices are expensive because the artists don't get paid for streaming, so they make all their money on touring. So the ticket price starts.
Ticketmaster's got a big fucking thing to do with that too, man. There's a lot of shadiness that goes on.
Lily Allen has 7 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Joe Baby says she was kidding. Smile.
Joe Baby said I was kidding about the foot thing.
Yeah, so but she said she might consider it because
so was I, Joe Baby. Wink, wink, wink. Huh? I don't really pay a bunch of money in crazy links in my DMs for women's feet. Wait, she also says here I would actually consider it. I did hear about that. Lars tried to sue me
for Napster. Yeah.
Well, there we go, right there. Joe Baby, if you're old enough to get sued by Lars for Napster, you're too old for me. I like them. You know what I mean? College age Tootsies. The Tootsies I'm paying for. I mean, they don't know how to spell Napster. Okay. They don't.
I'm gonna be honest here. I never really used Napster. I was a LimeWire kind of guy.
Yeah,
I was a LimeWire kind of guy. Speaking of people that like people that are too young for them, this is the best thing ever. We haven't talked about Matt Gaetz dropping out of the Attorney General position.
Now that's a guy who would pay money for your feet pics right there, Joe Baby. You got to hit up Matt Gaetz.
No. He wants underage. He's a full on 17-year-old pedo. Yeah. He likes, but
Matt Gaetz likes them even younger than I do.
He does. And Matt Gaetz, I sent you the screenshot. He did the most stereotypical, and it made me happy. It made me laugh. He's on Cameo, because he dropped out of Congress because the investigation was going to show that he's fucking a sex criminal.
He's on there with George Santos.
Yeah, he's on with George Santos. $500 for a 24-hour delivery. There's my cough of like say happy birthday, ask a question, get a custom video. Matt Gaetz thinks he's worth $500. It would be heartbroken to know how many people are paying it and want to support him. But yeah, that's what he's doing. Is you need any notoriety and you can get on Cameo and people will buy your shit. Matt Gaetz. Everybody was like, what's he going to do next? He's unemployed. And it says right there, Matt Gaetz, former Florida congressman. I want to come back. I didn't expect him to drop out for AG. The reports are, the rumors are that Trump called him personally and said, hey, I am threatening everybody to vote for you, and it's still not working. You are so tainted that even me threatening is not going to get the votes, so you got to drop out.
That's, you know whatever's in that report is bad because he's like, I'm dropping out from AG. I'm dropping out from Congress. I'm just going to go say hi to people on Cameo for a few $100. Like that, it's pretty bad in there. I think I'm going to troll my sister and get Matt Gaetz to give my niece a shout out for her quinceañera. That's what I'm doing. That's going to be my gift.
Paul says 3,000 streams on Paul from Lincoln, Nebraska says 3,000 streams on Spotify is less than 25 cents. I don't know that I've ever gotten. Well, I used to have several. This is a long story that no one cares about. I used to have several albums on Spotify, 7 albums, because I had 6 on Spotify. I have 7.5 albums out. Either way, someone offered a new service that said, hey, comedians should get paid by like musicians. Sign up now. And I'm like, I'll sign up for that. And the instant I did, fucking every comedian that signed up to get paid like a musician got dropped from SiriusXM and Spotify and Pandora. So now I think I have one album that I released after signing that they don't realize. I have one on Pandora that's not under my name. I wanted to try something, so I put out an album that's not under my name, and they accepted it immediately. Like, oh yeah, we'll put your comedy on. I'm like, okay, so they are literally blackballing people who signed up to get paid by the streaming services. So I'm not missing out on any money, but I don't have my stuff on Spotify now because I tried to get paid less than 25 cents for 3,000 streams.
Damn, that's Lars tried to prevent all that. Is all I'm saying.
He did. Fuck, I had a thought, then I lost it. Oh, damn it. Here's my thought. I want to put this out to you, Jake. You respond. And if anybody in the chat wants to respond, when it comes to people like Trump and Matt Gaetz, I was thinking of Mike Johnson, the speaker, who is a super Christian, as he says, everybody should follow the Bible. Everybody should read the Bible. He wants it. How much of what he says is a lie, or does he think Jesus is fooled? Does he think Jesus is fooled by his bullshit where he says, we're not going to release the Gaetz report because that would be unethical? It's like, no, people should see this if he's up for attorney general. Like now, I'm not sure if he should be released because he's not up for AG. But when he was up for AG and Mike is trying to protect him, do everything to honor Trump. What do you think? Do you think he thinks he's fooling Christ, or do you think he asks for forgiveness, like he goes on TV and says, Trump is good. We need to follow
Trump.
He
definitely believes in it, but here's the thing. He's such a believer that he can trick himself into being like, those underage girls talking about Matt Gaetz, they're succubuses from hell. They sent here to lie to us and get us to not have him as an AG. And that's kind of, I think, what those guys do.
All right. Rockin' Poochie says he's a grifter. Matt, is Matt the grifter, or was it from that previous conversation, or is Mike Johnson the grifter? Because I think, well, they're all politicians, so they're all grifters, but all right. We got 10 minutes left on the regular one, so let's jump over and talk about what I said we'd talk about after. We're going to jump in. Mike. Okay, Mike's the grifter. Yeah. Trans issues. Last week, we were talking about trans issues and trans kids and how basically, Jake, you want to make the statement you made last week. You said, look, they're giving trans kids gender blockers, but not performing surgeries. Astute listener Raymond
puberty blockers
sent us an article, but you have a follow-up to the article.
Yes.
A quick look at the article, which said that more people are getting gender affirming care under attack in many states. A few are kids, but it broke down that 48,000 patients. Where was it? fewer than 8% of patients, a total of 3,000, were 12 to 18 years old.
See, which already I'm looking at that number. I'm like, that
okay,
seems
jump in here
high.
because it was saying that kids.
Yeah, so
was
basically
happening.
what that's including in that one, and the same organization released another study. That's that FAMA or whatever. So
what did you
basically,
say it is? Is JAMA?
JMA. Yeah. So
do you know what it stands for?
JAMA.
I'll look it up.
Right. So basically, most of those kids, like almost all of them, were actually like cisgender males getting the reduction surgery, like the mastectomies or whatever, because they were like growing female breasts, like they had a deformity. They were, you know what I mean, like something.
Your audio just shit out. Oh, you just froze up and you just disappeared.
Yeah,
Jake.
fuck, man, I just got a phone call.
Died. Jake didn't have his phone plugged in. My phone is plugged in. Jake did not plug his phone in. Hold on, let me switch over to Zoom. I'm gonna bump up my volume on Zoom, Jake. So talk into your microphone. I can hear you again. Jake, oh, you have your thing down. Jake can't hear me because he has. Oh, he's coming back. I was trying to talk to you on the computer. Did your phone die?
No, I got a phone call. I hit like to not accept, but it froze my fucking thing.
Gotcha.
Wait, so we're not on the Zoom anymore, right?
We're on the Zoom. We've got a couple minutes left. I said so. I was trying to talk to you on Zoom.
Okay.
And then I realized that you have your Zoom muted, so it was just whatever. But AC says you got canceled.
Right. I just got canceled. That's right. I just got blackballed from this this podcast.
I'm saying so. You were saying that it was cisgender men who were growing.
Yeah.
Is it so?
Because that's who gets a lot of those surgeries is like.
But is it kids? Are we putting surgery on kids? What is the?
What do you mean? What?
Because it said that if it's 12 to 18, what are they having done? If it's kids.
So one thing that they call it top surgery, that what trans men will get. Cisgender males will also get it if they happen to be developing female breasts. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of times it's like overweight kids. It's kids that happen to have, for some reason,
it's a cosmetic surgery and it gets lumped in with trans surgery.
Yeah, because of insurance purposes. The insurance is so fucked up in this country that they're like, hey, we can't, under your plan, on page 47 of your plan, we can't actually do this surgery for a cisgender male, but we can kind of wiggle it in under gender affirming care. And so a lot of it just gets lumped in with all that, no pun intended. And they got to hack those off of the boys. A comic friend of mine who's got a hilarious bit on this. He had that done when he was in high school because he was developing female breasts. I mean, he was overweight. That was part of it. But for some reason, men can get their mammary glands like activated and they start developing female breasts. And then he's got this funny bit about now, trans men getting it done, and that him and they are two ships passing in the night, and now he's getting overweight again, and the breasts are growing back, and it's a whole thing. Yeah, Meatloaf. Joe Baby in the chat, Meatloaf.
Did he really have that, or was that just
his character did? But that's a real thing. There was a guy that I was in Iraq with that started getting if you abuse steroids like testosterone
to bulk
increasing. Up. Yeah, but you don't take the estrogen blockers because your body would be like, whoa, there's way too much testosterone in here, and it will start creating estrogen. And if you don't take the blockers for that, you'll actually start developing tits, which it always made for funny jokes. You know what I mean? Like he did not take it very well. People would go up to him and be like, hey, this coffee is disgusting. Hey, will you squirt a little in there? And he would, fuck you, like he had to get this surgery in Iraq. So this straight male cisgender soldier, if the insurance company, now it's through the government, so this wouldn't be necessary, but if this was done through insurance back home afterwards or whatever, then there is a chance it could be lumped under as gender affirming care because that surgery has been labeled that.
And I forgot to look something up. I said I would. Someone said last week, they said Jazz Jennings, and she's 24 years old now. When did she have her surgery? Because I want to see.
I don't know.
Is in 2013? But when did she early life? Oh, God damn it. 6 years
But,
old.
and that's the thing is, look, it even said in the article I sent you that like the vast majority, but it's still left like a few hundred cases or like a few dozen or something like that. So it's like wildly small. And I'll even say right now, man, like any doctors doing that to somebody underage should be disbarred. Yeah, that is not what the vast majority of advocates are advocating for.
Right.
That's not being done at all on any real level, and the laws, you know, prohibiting this in states. Look at the language. They're not banning gender affirming surgeries for minors. I'd be behind that. Most trans people would be behind that. They're banning gender affirming care. So that's acknowledging that a trans kid is trans at all. Yeah, they don't want any of that.
We're out of time on the Zoom pretty much, so let's close up there and then we'll stick to the live chat for a couple minutes like we do. You can find me at nathantimmel.com. My special.
Before we do that, AC on the chat.
No, we're going to switch to the chat. We're just closing down Zoom.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm closing down. Get your zinger ready because you missed it last week. I can be found at nathantimmel.com. I have a 1 hour special called Unapologetic, and I have a t-shirt store, over 50 designs, and just all sorts of fun. I write books. They're on Amazon, so you can check me out at nathantimmel.com. Jake can be found, as we said at the beginning of the podcast, at Jake Vevera on all social medias. Look up Jake, spell your name, Vevera, Vevera.
Vevera.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he just dropped his special 2 days ago. His special dropped. I watched it. It was filmed in New York City, unalived by dog pills. Yeah, I'm sure it's all over. You're going to be posting about it on Instagram, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you can find him on all the socials. If you like what we're doing, Sundays, give or take, noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, we jump live on YouTube. And if you want the quote bonus content, we're just going to stick to YouTube Live, looking at comments for a little while. So thanks for tuning in, Spotify listeners.
Alex Jones got a breast reduction, which technically is considered gender affirming care.